Hey, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. Vagabond Pat here. Right now, just gonna smoke a blunt, talk about Bigfoot. I think that's it. So, spark it up if you got some. Just because yesterday I was sitting there smoking, I started thinking about Bigfoot all of a sudden. I was like, Bigfoot. I had a weird theory. I don't know if it's known or not, but I thought about something, so I was like, maybe I'll share it on here, But anyway, spark it up if you got it. Let me know in the comments what you're smoking on, if you're smoking, or let me know if you're a believer or not of the man with the big feet, Let me close this door because it is getting a little nippy. I filmed another video when it was warm, so I did open it up the vent a bit, but it's getting cold now. Almost might have to put on my jacket, but I don't want to. But anyway, Bigfoot, man, Bigfoot's crazy. We've been talking about Bigfoot for a long time. I know, I'm a believer. I don't know whether or not to the extent if he's still out there, especially like in the United States. I don't know if he's out there. You go through places like Montana and stuff like that, I could see how he could be out there, like driving through parts of Oregon, Idaho, Montana, and stuff like that. I was like, Jesus, it was so dense, some of the places out there. I'm like, I could see it, But, is he still out there around here? I highly doubt it. I mean, people say they have him and stuff like that on film and stuff, but a lot of it I don't believe. A lot of it are hoaxes. Now, there was a guy who was assaulted by a Bigfoot. And, physically assaulted by Bigfoot. A female Bigfoot saw him and took advantage of him. So they say. So, Peter Kane Dog Training, go check him out. He's got big footprints and stuff like that. He got assaulted by a Bigfoot, I don't know if he liked it or not, But if you haven't heard his story, go check out Peter Kane Dog Training. He will talk to you about his Bigfoot experiences. So, you got people out there like that. No, I'm not discrediting him in any way. I kind of believe him. Kind of want to. I like Peter Kane. So I kind of want to... I feel bad for him that it happened. But hey, if a female Bigfoot stumbled her way upon me in the field or in the forest, hey, no one will believe you. Everyone will think you're crazy. But if it really did happen, it's kind of awesome. Not gonna lie. You're one of the only ones, buddy, who's ever had any of that. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, but anyway, back to, just regular Bigfoot, okay? So I was thinking now, the other day I was like, man, aliens. Now, if aliens aren't I'm sure there are aliens that are the future us, that just figured out time travel to go back in time. But, of course, there are aliens from other universes, other atmospheres, whatever it may be, other galaxies that come. They probably learn how to travel through black holes and stuff like that, and all this because they're advanced species, with advanced technology, way more advanced than we have. We think we have advanced technology, but there's other ones that really have advanced technology. So anyway, this leads into Bigfoot, trust me. But anyway, so now what if they were all the way here back in like the caveman time, I guess like dinosaurs, saber-toothed tigers, stuff like that. Now what if they were like, look at this man here, starting stuff. We're gonna mimic these men and come down here and try to be with them, So the aliens went up, figured it out. They did DNA splicing, whatever. And in the long run, created Bigfoot. But he was bigger than the men here. Well, I don't really know how big they would have been. They might have been small. They might have been big. I don't know. But he was a lot more hairier and stuff like that. So, or there were people... This could go a couple different ways, this whole theory, or there were people that were that hairy back then, and that's why they created a being so hairy to bring down here. And so let's say if they weren't that hairy. Now this is just something I thought of, a idea I haven't thought of too much, so I'm still just spitballing things for it. So because the second, that just sounded like a raptor there, but that might be, I might have Bigfoot inside of me with that growl. I don't know if that was a bird, but anyway though, the hairy part just popped up into my mind. You know, like well, if the people were all hairy, I had this first part of my head, but so yeah, so they drop them off, right? Say the cavemen are hairy, but they're not that hairy, they're not that tall, and now it also mixes into the different regions too. Okay, say because there were probably some like polar bear like animals back then too, out in the Arctics and stuff like that, where it's super cold all the time. The Himalayas, like the abominable snowman, right, is in the Himalayan mountains or something like that. I'm pretty sure, you know, but yeah, so you have reportings of all these things. So if the people back then out there were wearing like stuff like polar bear furs and stuff like that, maybe the aliens just thought they had white hair, and people on a different coastal region had a different color hair. So maybe that's why you see they made some with white hair to fit in more along there, to fit in with the people from the Arctics that were wearing all like these polar bear furs or whatever type of white animals they had back then to stay warm. You know, some type of big ass polar bear, I'm sure, existed. But yeah, so that's why I have brown ones and white ones, which are abominable snowman and Bigfoot, Sasquatch, whatever you might want to call them, you know. But yeah, so the Yeti, you know. So that's why you have different ones. But so say they drop off the regular Bigfoot, right? Drop him off. He tries to go up to them. They're like, this motherfucker big and he's hairy as shit. What in the world is this thing? So they hunt him, right? They dropped off a couple of them, you know? So they just might have thought they were another clan, because they saw how they all had clans. So they might have had kids and stuff like that, yada yada, you know? And they got chased off, they got hunted. They didn't have spears, they weren't equipped to fight back, so they had to take off into the forest. But because they were so big and because of their size and everything, they just were able to survive out in the forest. And because they were so ape-like, you know, the aliens might not have been able to get a person then. Who knows? Maybe they took a monkey and spliced monkey DNA with their DNA, and that's how you get the Bigfoot. I don't know. This is just a theory, you know. But yeah, so maybe Bigfoot got chased off into the woods, survived everything through all these years, and that's where Bigfoot comes from. And that's why he's still off there, and same with the Yeti and the abominable snowman, this and that, you know. That's why there's still reports of these things, still sightings of them, because they've just been able to survive, just like alligators, or like dinosaurs and stuff like that. What if they were from the dinosaurs and the aliens just messed up? They didn't create the being well enough to fit into society, to integrate into society. Now they have it down with like reptilians and stuff like that, if you believe in all that. You want to see a video on that? I'll do a video on that. I'll do more conspiracy theory videos, or kind of theory videos, whatever, because I like all this stuff, man. I'll even do some research into them. Once I get into editing, I'm gonna redo this Bigfoot one. I'm gonna think about it more, learn editing, and put little clips, videos, pictures, whatnot. But right now I'm just smoking in the van talking about it, so it is what it is. Thanks for watching though. But yeah, so now, what if the people were that hairy and he dropped them off, and they kind of just accepted the Bigfoot species as another caveman, but because of the Bigfoot species were genetically modified by another species, an alien, that during the meteors and stuff like that, they were able to survive. And that's still, either way, they survived the meteors, whether they were meant to created that hairy to fit in, or created that hairy on accident. I don't know, but that could be some. I don't know. And yeah, that's just the basis of it. I haven't thought about it too much, but like I said, just yesterday I was sitting outside and I was like, What if aliens made the Bigfoot to try to fit in with the cavemen, but they messed up? That's why I like weed, man. Brings your mind to weird places all the time. So yeah, but I mean, like, I'm a believer now. You got like the one guy that was on there, some Bigfoot hunter. He was like, "Oh, you hear that? You hear that bullfrog?" It's like, I forget who it was. It was like I heard it on Joe Rogan. I don't know if it was Joe Rogan that was on this experience with him, but someone like that was on this experience with this redneck Bigfoot hunter. You know, he's like, "That's a bullfrog. You hear that?" I was like, "Yeah, I hear that." Now, that ain't no average bullfrog. That's a juvenile Sasquatch. They mimic other animals, so you don't know it's them. And it's like, well, if you don't even see them, why would they mimic another animal to even bring attention to themselves? You would have never even been like, "Oh, let's try to go catch that bullfrog." He would have just kept quiet and made a noise. So, a lot of things don't make sense, you know? But I do believe he once existed. Whether he still does or doesn't, it's hard to call it. I mean, people could have been banging monkeys back in the day. Way back in the day. And that's where it comes from, you know? Or a gorilla could have banged an orangutan and it created a genetic crazy ass thing. Who knows, you know? I think if a person were to do a monkey, it'd be a little weird. But that's where people say AIDS come from, right? People have it in their way with monkeys, huh? I don't know how true that is, but I've heard that theory too. That's where AIDS come from. People were smoking HIV medication. I'm like Africa, they were getting like high off HIV medication. Crazy, man, what people do to get high, man. Who would have thought you could smoke HIV medicine to get high? But anyway, yeah, so there's a couple of different ways Bigfoot could have came about, you know? But I kind of like to believe that he was just genetically modified by aliens. Kind of like that right there. I mean, you have him recorded back for a long time, too. way far back, you know? But, hey, a lot of the mistakings for Bigfoot, believe it or not, are just bears walking up on their hind legs. So it could have just been that all throughout history, because there's always been, like, bear-type animals. But I like to believe otherwise, you know? I do believe that some people would mistake a bear walking on their hind legs as a Bigfoot or a Sasquatch, or even polar bears as Yetis, because, well, polar bears in the wide open are, I don't know if they live in a lot of trees and stuff like that, you know? I think they live, like, by the ocean. I don't know, I just might be completely dumb, stupid, but I don't think they'd be living in forests and stuff like that, running around in trees like that. Maybe though, but yeah, so, anyway, yeah, it could just be bears walking up on their hind legs, and I could see where, if you're in Montana and there's a bear walking up on his hind legs with how thick the trees are out there, easily mistake it for a Sasquatch. I know I would. Your minds play tricks on you all the time. You can't even see 5 feet in front of you because it's so thick. So good Lord. So if you were to see something, just brush by walking up on his hind legs. Whoa. But I like to believe that it's just more to it than that. It's out there somewhere. It's probably not in America. Probably another continent or something like that. Who knows? Gotta get that one guy. I don't know if he's ever done a Bigfoot thing. What is it, Forrest Galante or something like that? If he hasn't, maybe he should do like a Bigfoot thing, even though I'm pretty sure he has. I know he was doing like a hunt for the giant sloth. I have to see if he ever went in. He went, I think it was like the Philippines he was going into or something like that. And there's this big bowl in the middle of the forest. And they said when they started like building places, all these sloths went up into this giant bowl inside of these mountains in the forest. And the mountains are so high and stuff like that. no one can climb them. And the trees are so dense there and stuff like that, you can't get like a helicopter down in there or anything like that. So they were trying to get like permission to get lowered down in there and stuff like that. Take a look, because they think there's animals out there, you know, just like a lot of things like that. That one thing, I always want to call it the xylazine, but I know that's like a form of like drug too, like a medication or something. But I always want to call it the xylazine. It's like a tiger or Tasmanian dog mix. And this thing has like a mouth that goes like this. It's crazy. And the last one they had in the zoo in like the 1920s, but I think there's like a little place in Australia where they capture them on trail cams and stuff like that. So who knows what's really out there, you know. They're discovering new stuff every day. There's evasive stuff that don't like humans. They know what we are. They know we're destructive, so they try to avoid us at all costs. So it wouldn't surprise me. You'd be a fool. I mean, I honestly think you're a fool to rule it out. If you could believe in like one God, especially them people that like are God believers, but be like, nah, Bigfoot can't be real, or this can't be real, or that can't be real. How could you say that? God's real though, you know? There probably is a higher power. Whether it's God or not, I don't know. I can't call it. I'm not gonna call it, you know? Might be just one God. I don't know. But we went from gods to a God. We used to believe in several gods back in the day, but somewhere along the line we lost that. You know, we used to believe all the Atlantis gods and whatever, thunder gods, lightning gods, rain gods. I don't know their names for what, you know. But the mythology, what about all them gods? We just forgot about them. How are you gonna forget about them and just go with this one God? No, because it's meant to lure you in and take your money and brainwash you. That's what religion is meant to do. You should believe in gods, not just one guy to do this, to do that. Say you're good, this and that. I'm not even going on this whole rampage right now, because that could be a whole nother video right there. I have had a psychedelic religious experience, so kind of crazy, you know, kind of crazy. I mean, like, I really hope Bigfoot's real in the long run, you know, because that'd be cool. Be kind of scary to see him though if he is real, but if he is, that'd be awesome. Because there's a lot of weird animals out there, man. A lot of weird. And there were previously a lot of weird animals, you know. Now they're saying they're trying to bring back like woolly mammoths, where they're was it the African elephant, or no, the Indian elephant or something like that? Indonesian elephant, Indian elephant is the closest related thing. So they have mammoth DNA, and they're injecting it into mammoths, and they're trying to get a mammoth park going with 100 mammoths. That'd be some crazy shit, but also scary. You know, like, it's wild, man. It's like some Hitler stuff almost, because he was trying to do that DNA splicing and stuff like that. You know, like, he was trying to cross the humans with apes and stuff like that, and all types of crazy stuff. So that's you know, and I know a lot of them scientists during that time left and went to other places. Like NASA scientists are Nazis. You know, there were a lot of Nazi scientists in NASA back in the day. I don't know if that might get me in trouble for saying that word. I don't know, but anyway, it's the truth. You know, we took a lot of them, because there were a lot of scientists and stuff like that. Bayer aspirin, Nazis started that, you know. Look it up. Even if you look at the symbol of it, the way it is, just chop a couple parts off, and what does it make? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's all types of little, like, just crazy shit, you know. So who knows? I just think that could have just like, that goes back into the beginning of it. Like, Bigfoot could have just been created by aliens, dropped off here. You know? Or who knows? Maybe gorillas and orangutans did used to mate, and that maybe Bigfoot is a mix. He's some type of monkey hybrid. I don't know, but I don't think we've ever found an own body or anything like that. So it's really hard to call whether it's real, because some of the people seem kind of reliable, but some of them just seem kind of crazy, you know. But even the most reliable person, their mind could take a trip for a second, you know, and just, the mind's a weird thing. Delicate, so delicate, it's kind of crazy. The way the mind works. So is Bigfoot real? Is Bigfoot not real? Let me know down in the comments what you think, huh? I said, I like to believe he is, but at this time and day, at least in America, I don't know. Maybe somewhere else. But hey, stay positive, spread the good vibes. Hopefully you're smoking something good. Give people a chance, you know the deal. But it's Friday. I'm gonna enjoy my day. Vagabond Pat, I'm out. Much love. Peace.